right, so now that we've got our text boxes and everything's labeled, we can start putting in some shapes. Um, Please just ignore the sounds of my dog in the background. Uh, like that, for instance. Okay, so most of you probably already know how to put these shapes in, but I'll kind of run through this fairly quickly, hopefully. So we're going to put in a circle for tooth number 1. Well, I thought we were. There we go. Okay, so here we go. We're going to put in our circle. Cool deal. We have a circle, and eventually my dog will stop making noise. For those of you that don't know, you come up here to Shape Fill to change what color it is. I happen to like yellow because it shows up well in the X-ray. And then Shape Outline is how you can change the outline. Again, that's just all completely personal preference. Pick whatever colors you want to use. Typically, what I do once I have my shape for whatever characteristic I'm trying to point out, I will then click on that shape and I will copy, or I'll again use my keyboard controls, which is Control C. I know I'm going to need 2 copies of this circle because I need one here on my antemortem and I need one here on my postmortem. So once I've copied it, I will then just right click and paste. And I know I need another one, so either right click and paste, or again, Control V is your keyboard shortcut. So now that I've got those 2, I can put one on my antemortem, and then I can drag one down here to my postmortem. Whoa, not that. Drag the whole thing down here to my postmortem, and I can put it right there. So again, I use copy and paste pretty much as I can, just because it's faster than coming up here and going insert shape and doing that 3 separate times. Okay, we'll do kind of the same thing for doing a shape for tooth number 3. We're going to use an arrow this time. So let's say we put our arrow right there. I don't really like blue because again it doesn't show up as well, so let's do a red arrow. And for those of you that don't know, you can actually make those arrows thicker if you come down here to weight, and you'll notice as I move down, the arrow's getting thicker, and you can make it as fat as you want. We're going to go with that because that looks pretty good. Now you're probably going, well, that's great and all, that arrow's pointing to the right, but you'll notice we're going to come down here and we really need it to point left. So the easiest way to change that is to just come over here to rotate, and if you click flip horizontal, you'll notice that now it's facing left. This also kind of lets you do a couple of different things. Again, you can rotate it right 90, right, left, right, left. You can rotate it right 90 degrees, but we really just need it to be going the other direction to the left, so we're going to just flip that horizontal. Perfect, now it's going the right direction. We're going to Control C, which copies that, and then I'm going to Control V and Control V again. Now I have 2 copies of that, and I can just simply, real quickly, slide those down to where I want them to be. You also, in case you didn't know, can grab the end of this arrow, and that actually will let you kind of rotate it around in case you wanted to put that arrow like at a tilt for maybe something that you didn't want to cover up quite completely. You just needed to kind of angle it a little bit. So you can rotate it in that manner too. All right, so you'll notice that with that red arrow, we couldn't do 2 different colors on it because it's just not a shape that allows you to do that. Let's say we did want to do a 2-colored arrow. You need to come over here and use your block arrow. Once you put in a block arrow, you can then actually do it in 2 different colors. You can, let's say we want to make the inside of it yellow, and just because I like the yellow and red combo, we're going to do the outside in red. This kind of comes in handy where if you've got, a list of 10 things you're trying to point out, and you've used 5 different arrows and you're running out of color options and things like that, this just makes it easy because you can do, like I said, that dual colored arrow and give you another distinct shape to use. So again, I'm going to copy, then I'm going to paste and paste again. Then we're just gonna drag it where we need it, right like that. And you'll notice that this arrow is kind of small down here in this postmortem. So I'm just gonna grab the corner and make that a little bit bigger so that it's kind of doesn't look as funny sitting there on that postmortem being as small as it is. But I should probably put this in the right place. There we go. All right, so that's kind of how I go about adding my shapes. I'll probably go in here and do that for these other 3 before we do our last video. So again, it's kind of personal preference on how you put those shapes in there in terms of what shape you're using, what colors you want. But like I said, I think the real time saver is just the copy and paste way of creating those duplicates to put actually down here on the images rather than going up here and doing insert shape, like I said, 3 different times. So maybe that helps you guys out with being a little bit quicker about putting these things in the x-rays. All right, so that's the end of that one.